Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Karim Fizani Karisman, and today I will be presenting to you on the role of leaderships in preventing burnout during organizational change with a real example from Shopee Malaysia. So, organizational change is something that every company must go through in order to survive and stay competitive. However, change does not only affects the policy and company structure, it is also affects the people inside the organization. During periods of changes, employees often experience stress and it can lead to a serious issue such known as burnout. This is where the leadership become extreme important. So now let's discuss what is burnout. Burnout, it is described as chronic physical and emotional and mental exhaustion due to prolonged stress, often experienced by individuals in high-stress job or situation. According to the World Health Organization, burnout is a state of emotional and physical exhaustion resulting from continuous and unmanaged workplace stress. Burnout is not just about feeling tired, it is deeper. It affects motivations, performance, and even a person's sense of purpose at work. In the context of organizational change, burnout often happens when employees are unsure about what is happening, fear losing their jobs, or suddenly face heavier workloads. Let's discuss about why leadership matters so much during these changes. First, it because employees look to their leader for clarity and stability. When leaders communicate well, it shows empathy and provides support, employees feel safe and valued. But when leaders are silenced, distant, or dismissive, employees feel lost, anxious, and overwhelmed. Therefore, leadership behavior directly shapes the work climax and the emotional experience of the employees. So there are several leadership strategies that can help prevent burnout during the changes. The first strategy is clear and transparent communication. Leader must explain the purpose of the change, what will be implemented, and how it will affect the employee. When the employee understands the reasons and the directions, it reduces fear and prevents misunderstanding and rumors. Clear communication builds trust between the employee and the employer. For the second strategy is empathy and emotional support. Change can be worrying, especially when jobs roles are affected. Leader need to show understanding and acknowledge the stress employee might feel. Even small action like asking how employees are coping or simply listening without judgment can make a big difference. When people feel heard, they are more emotionally secure and more willing to adapt. The third strategy is workload and resource management. During changes, work process often shift and expectation increase. However, if workload increase without additional support, burnout become more unavoidable. Leader needs to make sure tasks are distributed fairly, training is provided where needed, and deadlines are realistic. Support must match the expectation. Last but not least is encouraging employee participation and voice. By involvement create ownership. When employees are given the chance to share their opinions or suggest improvement, they feel respected and included. This reduces resistance to change and increase engagement. Now, let's look at a real example. Shopee Malaysia during 2022 to 2023. During this period, Shopee implemented cost-cutting measures that include layoff and restructuring. This situation caused many employees to experience job insecurity and emotional strain. Workload increased because there were fewer staff members handling the same amount of work. Some employees felt anxious every day, unsure about their job stability. There are classic conditions that leads to burnout. However, the level of burnout varied across teams. In teams where managers communicate openly about the changes, check in regularly with their staff, and adjust workload when necessary, employees reported feeling more supported and less stressed. In contrast, teams where leaders avoided discussion or act distant experienced such much higher burnout and frustration. This clearly showed that burnout was influenced not by the change itself but how leaders handle it. To conclude everything that I just said, preventing burnout during organizational change is not just an HR task, it is a leadership responsibility. Clear communication, emotional support, fair workload management, and employee involvement are the key strategies leaders must apply. When leadership is supportive, employees are more resilient, more motivated, and more willing to embrace the changes. But when the leadership is weak, burnout becomes more serious threat to both people and organizational performance. Thank you.